More people! Okay, excuse me, would you? Thank you. Okay, we got a good crowd building here. Hello, Lexi, can we go backstage? Oh, if you wouldn't mind please going, in the audience, please? Thank you. Wow. Okay, well, you got a great audience over here. Oh my goodness, Okay, hello, everybody. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Abby Frog. And today is a really big day. Really big day because, you see, I don't think I've met you before, right? Hi. Well, you are in for a real treat because it is a special occasion. You see, I am the Under's best-selling author. And I've been on a book tour for a while now because I wrote a book called Crab Tales, and it's a collection of short stories about all the little crabs that you see around here in London. And it's done really well. And today is the grand finale of my tour. So this is really exciting, and I'm so glad you're all here. But just because it's my final stop, it doesn't mean that I'm done with this. I'm just going to write other books and do other things and stuff. Oh, hey, hello. Oh, for me? Thanks. I don't know how to play this, but I'll put this somewhere where it looks really cool. Oh, hey! Hello! I'm just going to put this on display right here. Okay, so today's Crab Tale story is going to be a very special one because usually I tell a story about one crab, but today I'm going to tell a story about all of them, all 7 of them. There are 7 out there. They are Hazel, Jenny, Shannon, Sylvia, Frankie, Donna, and did I already say Jenny? Oh, Olive. That's what I forgot. Olive. Olive's she's kind of standoffish. I always kind of forget about her. She's just kind of doing her own thing. You know, she's really into politics and stuff, and I'm not. But anyway, so today's story, the grand finale of Crab Tale, is going to be about all of the crabs. So if you can go and grab a bunch of them, bring them in here. I know they don't like to hang out in here for too long before they go back to the stand, but I think it'd be fun to have them. Yay! There they are. Alright, so we've got, show me their butt tattoos. Alright, okay, we've got Shannon and Donna and Frankie and who else is, who we got? you have Jenny and Hazel. All of them, yay for all the crabs. Let's just give them a big round of snaps for all of the fun that we've had participating in their stories. So, how story time works, for those of you who haven't done my story time yet, is I start telling a story and then you guys create objects and I incorporate the objects into the story. So today's grand finale story is about all 7 of these little crab girls, and they start a girl group called the Spice Crabs. And they're playing music together. So they all get together after school and they decide they're going to start a girl group. That's the only thing I can think of that could incorporate 7 of them. And so Donna plays the guitar, and Jenny plays the golden guitar, and Olive took a bunch of beers from her mom's fridge and provided that, even though she doesn't have any musical talent. They keep her around for that, and they had. And she also took some steaks and cooked them for everybody. So she kind of provided the crafty. And then Hazel played the maracas, and Frankie played the harmonica, and the rest of them all sang. Well, they all sang, and they all had their own microphone in addition to playing their instruments. And so they were writing their first song that they decided they'd write all their own songs, because that's cool that they do that. They wanted to be their own MC. And so their first song was going to be about a teddy bear. And a teddy bear named Salty the Bear. Because that was the name of Frankie's childhood toy. And then Donna said, hey, why can't we write about my childhood toy? It's a dog named, a dog with a hat. And his name was Soupy. And then it got into a big argument of all 7 of them wanting to write songs about their favorite childhood toys. Olive's toy was just a potato because she was a weird kid. And Jenny's toy was a Gerald. And they invited their friend Figgy over, who's another crab, a golden crab. They invited Figgy over to watch their band practice, because Figgy didn't want to be a part of the band, but they wanted to watch and see and help them get ready for performing. And so Figgy made them some coffee to keep them awake, and what is that? I don't know what this is. Sorry, I don't know. It's Olive said, hey, what if our band logo is a big golden olive? And the rest of them said, no, because your name is Olive, so that means that you're the star, and we don't want anybody to be the star. We're all equal. And then and Jenny said, hey, what if we write a song about fish? And then everyone else was like, no, that's not really a good idea. And then Donna was like, hey, what if we just have a sword fight on stage instead of doing choreography? And as cool as that would be, the rest of them disagreed with that because the whole point of, doing a girl group is to do choreography. And then Frankie said, hey, look, I can turn this apple and blast into this weird merged object. And then Jenny said, nobody cares about your weird art projects, Frankie. We're trying to make music here. And then Hazel said, hey guys, what if we just write a song about all the things we love, and each of us can write one verse of it, and then And in that way, it can all be equal. So it'll be a song with 7 verses. So they all thought that was a great idea. So one thing that they love would be in each verse. So in the first verse, Hazel talked about how much she loved gold. And then in the second verse, Olive talked about how much she loved eating chicken. And then in the third verse, Frankie talked about how much she loved glass eggs because she's into weird artsy stuff like that. And then in the fourth verse, Shannon talked about how much she loved roses because she's sweet like that. And then in the fifth verse, Sylvia talked about how much she loved floating onions. And then in the sixth verse, Donna talked about how much she loved cats. She liked to dress up. And then in the seventh verse, Jenny talked about how much she loved, how much she loved beer. And then in the last verse, in the chorus, they all sang together about how much fun they had when they were really little and still inside of their eggs, and because they all came from the same crab egg litter, so they were all babies together, and that's what unites them. And they sang about how that united them, and they decided to call the song. They decided to call the song "Gold" because the first verse is about gold and. Gold symbolized all their favorite things because they could turn all their favorite things gold to make them last forever. And that's what they sang about. And so they decided to perform this song at a big concert for everybody in the under on the stage. They decorated the stage with a bunch of pretty leaves and branches and a lot of, shiny gold discs. And then they had some fireworks ready to go off, and they had beach balls for the audience to throw around like they do at music festivals. And they set up a bunch of chairs for everybody, but they made them really small so people would want to get out of their chairs so they could dance. I'll sign books at the end. Okay. And so they got on stage, and they all came on. They made a grand entrance inside of a giant golden ball, and that rolled onto the stage. And then the ball exploded, and they all came out. Oh, they all came out kind of like inside little eggs, and then they all came out of their eggs, and that symbolized how they were all egg mates together. And the fireworks went off, and the crowd went wild. Everybody was in the audience. All the frogs, all the cats, all the humans, all the time sprites. Even Coleman was there. Everybody was there. Gerald was there. And Buster was there. And Figgy was there. And Bernice was there. All the skeletons were there. And they cheered and they cheered. Even the snails were there, and all the sleepers were there. All the brooms were there. The talking brooms even. And the talking brooms were cheering the loudest, like Jester or Chester. I can't remember which one's the broom. And Izzy and Madonna and Natalie Portman and not Natalie Portman. All the brooms were cheering them on. And it was nice to have brooms in the audience because they don't take up a lot of space, so you can squeeze a lot of them in and have a really big crowd. And so they all got on stage and they all lined up in a row and they said, "We are the Spice Crabs and we're here to rock your world." And they started off. They introduced themselves and they said they each gave themselves new names like the Spice Girls do. So Hazel, there was Pepper Spice, and Olive was. What's that noise? I swear I didn't do that. That did not come from me. Can you get off my face? Thank you. Okay, hazel was pepper spice, and olive was salt spice, and Shannon was garlic spice, and Sylvia was basil spice, and Donna was herbes de Provence spice, and Frankie was everything but the bagel seasoning spice, and Jenny was red chili flakes spice, and they had a snack bar with wet food for the cats and with everything that anybody could ever want. It was the biggest concert of the year, but it really, I mean, it was part of it wasn't just them, it was part of a whole, they had soup, they had cupcakes, all the hottest food trucks in the under were catering them. And they were decorated with golden spice shakers to symbolize that they were the spice crobs. And there was one song where they danced on top of a giant pie, and it wasn't just their show, it was a big Crob music festival. So they were opening for Little Crobby and DJ Crob and DJ Claudio. It was a huge deal for them. They had all their instruments, and they turned all their instruments gold, so they would look extra shiny on stage, even though it didn't really play as nice. You know, the acoustic, there's a reason the guitars are made out of wood, you guys. But they were really just kind of pretending to play the instruments, because at band practice they realized that none of them actually knew how to play instruments, but they were all pretty good singers. So they just pretended to play their instruments, but they sang very well, and they had perfectly choreographed dance moves when they all moved their claws in synchronicity with one another. And then it was time for them to sing their final song. It was the song Gold that I just talked about, where they each had a verse about their favorite thing, and it was really special because that was the first song that they successfully wrote together. And the crowd was cheering and cheering and cheering, and all of a sudden, a giant lemon fell from the sky and hit the light rigs at the top of the stage, and all the power went out. And so they couldn't sing their song because they weren't playing their instruments. They needed the electricity to play the soundtrack that they were singing along to, and they needed the lights so everybody could see them. Because, you know, they had some really rad outfits on. But they needed somebody to fix everything, to save the day. So they thought, oh, you know what, Olive is pretty good at handyman stuff, so maybe she can go up on the rigging with a can opener and move everything around. Or, you know what, those snails, they can reach into really small spaces and figure out how to rewire the electricity, but that would take forever because they move really slowly. So while they were trying to figure out how to fix the technology, the audience was starting to get bored. They were just throwing things on the stage. There was a bear that fell asleep. And they weren't throwing nice things on the stage like roses. They were throwing eggs and golden hats and stuff. And the bear was snoring really loudly. Then Gerald was like, "You guys, I have to work in the morning, so if we could hurry this up." And Gerald's usually really patient and nice. But then a little voice from the audience said, "Wait, I have an idea!" And it was their friend Figgy, the little golden crab that supported them since their first band practice. And Figgy said, "I was there at your first band practice, and when you wrote this song, and you didn't have the fancy lights or sounds then, and you still sounded amazing. So how about we do it a cappella? Because the best thing about your talent as your voices. And the snail said, yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's do it a cappella. So all the time sprites in the audience made gold with their mask to light up the stage because the stage lights were out. Yes, and it was more beautiful than any of the lights that used to be there. And they even made some poison lights and some firework lights, all different kinds of lights to make it look oh so lovely. And then everybody got really quiet. Yeah, they made the pink shrinky lights and the green lights and the blue lights, all the colors, even more colorful than the stage lights could get because they only come in one color because the MC has a really low budget for that because he doesn't understand the rigging needs of the theater. And then there was a beautiful assortment of fireworks, and then the audience got really quiet. They didn't need to be quiet because 7 crab voices singing together in unison can get quite loud. And they all sang in perfect harmony about all of their favorite things, and they sang with such passion and happiness and togetherness because they're crab sisters and cousins. The love of family brought them all together, and the love of music kept them going. And they sang the most beautiful song that had ever been sung by crabs. And oh, can we get back into the audience? Okay, thanks. And it was amazing. It was the biggest hit. And everybody clapped so loud, and they demanded an encore, and they kept singing and singing and singing all of their beautiful songs, and they all became very rich. They released an acoustic album. It was just their voices, and they won at the Golden Potato Awards, which are the crab equivalent to the Grammys. They won like 7 awards for like best album, best song, best female artist, best band, etc. But it was perfect that they won 7 awards so they could each take a trophy home with them. And then when it was time for the final award, which was Best Music of the Year all the time forever, everyone was expecting DJ Crop to win because, you know, he's the best crop music. But then they announced it, and it was a big upset. The Spice Crabs won the Best Crab Music Award. Then DJ Crab jumped off of something really high, and then, but then they had an 8th award. And they said, well, what are we going to do with this 8th one? And it was bigger than all the rest because it was the biggest one, the biggest, most important award. And then Frankie said, I have an idea. Who's the crab that got us here today? Who's the one that was there from our first band practice and the one that encouraged us to go the acoustic route? And he said, it's Figgy! Let's give our big trophy to Figgy, because without Figgy, we would not be here at all. Figgy's the one who showed us that family and friendship and love and raw talent are the most important things, and you don't have to worry about all the flashy stuff, all the drama. Figgy really saved us and protected us from having an unhealthy relationship with each other. So they went to Figgy's house after the award ceremony, where Figgy lived with their adopted Time Sprite parents. And they presented Figgy with the big trophy. And they officially hired Figgy as their manager. And they became the most successful crab band of all time. Because they had been together since they were eggs. And that is the most important thing. And it's just like how I owe my success as an author to all of you. Because I've known some of you since I was just a teeny baby crab who didn't even know how to talk. And you taught me my alphabet. And you believed in me when I wrote my book. And you helped me come up with my stories by making your objects. And you followed me on my tour. And you always supported me. by getting copies of my book. And so I really owe it all to you. So, oh, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to give you some special copies of the book. Some special editions. Oh, this is so emotional, you guys. Because I really enjoyed this whole tour. It made all my dreams come true. You know, my mom didn't even know how to read. And then I taught her how to write, and now she writes in a journal every day. You can change a world when you change a life. All right, I'm going to sign this big one for you. Dear Druid Master Captain Hatch, thank you for being the captain of our friendship. Love, Abby. Okay. And then yours. Do you want me to sign your guitar? Okay. Dear Rockstar Angel Onion Mask, keep rockin' forever. Love, Abby. Okay. And then, oh, you want me to sign your mask? Okay, I'll draw a heart on it. Okay. Ooh, oh. Oh, you've got this is the first edition. Like the first edition. It's like the rough draft. All right. Oh, you want me to dedicate it to your egg? Okay, dear egg, I hope you hatch into someone very special and magical. Wait, is that your baby in there? Okay. You are going to grow up, whatever you are, into... Oh, it's you? You are in the egg, but you are also out of the egg? You are the egg? Okay. That is a crab egg, right? No? Is it a dragon egg? It's a time sprite egg. Time sprites come from eggs? Oh my goodness, I learn something new every day. Yeah, there aren't a lot of books in the Crab Library about time sprite biology, so I really don't know what you're made out of, but that's okay. I'm just gonna say, dear egg, I hope you grow up into someone or something just as fabulous as the time sprite that is raising you. Love, Abby. And read a lot of books. Okay. And then I'll sign you. You've got the children's book edition that's abridged. Okay. Should I address it to you or to a child? I don't know. I'll just say lots of love, Abby. It's a snail's book. Okay. All right. And then, did I sign yours already? No. Okay. Dear swirly hoodie friend, thank you for joining me. Even though this may have been your first time on the book tour, I'm so glad that we got to have this experience. You will always be my friend. Love, Abby. Okay. Who else? Okay. Dear Crab Face, Captain Hat, I hope that you and whatever hatches from your egg have a very happy family together. Oh, where did the book go? I don't know where it went, but I signed it. Okay. Alright. Dear Witchy Cheese and... Who's that broom? Is that Izzy? No? Yeah? It's Izzy? Okay. And Izzy. You two are so cute, and I hope that you have a happy family forever. Love, Abby. And thank you for being there since the beginning, too. You want me to sign the egg? I'll just draw a heart. Okay. And then, I didn't sign yours yet. Alright. Dear full mask hoodie. Thank you for all you being there since the beginning, too. I'm glad to have you as a friend. I love Abby. Alright, well, that's it, you guys. I mean, I'm not going away. Well, actually, I'm gonna write another book. But I've also, I've been invited to give the graduation speech at some universities, and they're gonna give me an honorary doctorate. So next time you see me, I'll be Dr. Abby. And I also believe that I am up for a Nobel Prize in literature, but I don't really know how that works. I don't know if I have to go to Norway or Sweden or, whoa, thank you. Yeah, but I guess I just got this really nice grant, so I can spend more time writing and go on different, like, writers' retreats and stuff. And it's all thanks to you. And I love you all very, very much. Let's have one big group hug. You know, I still have to, it's embarrassing, despite being a best-selling author who just finished a book tour and has a lot of investments and is about to get an honorary doctorate. I still have to go take a nap because my mom said so. What'd you feed me? I don't know. Yeah. And I'm just like, Mom, come on. I don't have to take a nap. I'm gonna be a doctor. You're gonna still make me take naps when I'm a doctor? And she says, yeah, because as long as you're my daughter, I have to make sure that you're healthy. Blah, blah, blah. So, I think is that a burger? Oh, thank you. This is perfect. It's too big. It's too big. It don't fit in my little mouth. Yeah. Oh! Also, I have merch. Ooh, chicken. Thanks. I never get to have chicken. My mom's a vegan. Thanks. Yum. I hope I get to have good food when I'm, touring all the colleges and stuff. But I know that colleges are not known for having the best food. What? Okay. Yeah, I have merch. The Queen of the Egg Kingdom made it. And so I bought a sweatshirt with my face on it, but it's sized for humans and not for crabs, so it doesn't fit me, but I put it on my wall. And you can also kind of buy a copy of the book there. So, yeah. Put my face on all your things. Okay. I guess I'm really bad at goodbyes, so I guess I'm just gonna go. This isn't goodbye though, because I'm gonna be coming back, like, probably in like 4 days or something. But by then I will have one of my doctorates, so you'll have to call me Dr. Crab. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, MC, there's no curtains. Okay.